Because that's been a big talking point, particularly with the Springboks of late, and the comparisons made with the All Blacks around skills.
Yeah.
We all know the All Blacks are brilliant at that. Just basic ball skills, finding gaps, reaction time. I mean, surely a lot of the lessons that you instilled in the 2007 era, have none of those been carried through to the current coaching setup?
I don't think so. I think the players that were still in that system would have carried a little bit of that through. I actually thought they were going to win the next World Cup because I thought they were good enough to do that. It's a trainable skill, but you can't. I believe you can't spend enough time on the field. You know, these players are playing so many matches and they're so full on in playing rugby all the time. With our gym, we have found a way in 10 minutes of training 500 decisions on something you haven't seen before. Now, if you take that guy and you put him on the field and make him do 500 decisions, you're going to be there all day. So the exciting thing, you can in a very short time accelerate that ability to make effective decisions under pressure by training those specific IGEM skills.
I mean, what is it the All Blacks do that makes them so effective? Do they have their own Sherylle Calder in New Zealand?
I mean, we don't know what goes on the inside, but they would be doing something.
Yeah.
There are amazing ways to train on field as well. It's got to be functional training, you know. So I would imagine that they base a lot of their training on making sure that it's functional and specific to the individual, specific to the position as well.
Just looking at some of the other codes you've worked in, interestingly, the NFL, Miami Dolphins, you worked with one of the players there who you were saying earlier is a receiver. So the guy that gets the ball from the quarterback. Tell us how you helped improve his game.
Well, a wide receiver, the real thing he has to do is catch the ball, because he's the guy who does most of the touchdowns. But he's got certain running lines to do. He's got to get there at the right time. You know, the ball's got to be put in his hands. He's still got people trying to tackle him and defend him, etc. But anyway, with Kenny, we went in and he dropped a really crucial catch in the first game of the season. Excuse me, where there was no pressure and the ball was there, ready to touch down, and he dropped it. And so we went in, tested him, and found that he was lacking in some skills. Got him on the on the IGEM training program, and today he doesn't drop catches anymore, as simple as that. But we're still training with him, but I also worked with him because every guy's individual, and the way you catch a ball and the way Kenny would catch a ball would be different, believe it or not. So the ability to track it, the ability to judge it, how to get into position specific for him. I did some of that work with him as well. So I'm still in touch with him on a regular basis. We're still training with him, with some of the players, and so he's on track. So it was a great experience, a different sport, something I haven't been exposed to before. But what was interesting about that...
The principles then, are they the same across codes? I mean...
the visual principles stay the same, but the individual is different. So you've got to make sure that you know exactly what the makeup is of that individual and then train him accordingly. But we had interesting work with them. We put some of the coaches on. You know, some of them sit right up in the top and got to take in information, give it down to the coaches straight away, and it's split second. You know, they've got to recognise things early, take that information, send it down to the bottom. So we worked with some of the coaches as well with some great success. So it's not only players, we work with management as well.
Fascinating. And you've also had success with Ernie Els before he went on to win the Open Championship, and a lot of the other South African golfers, Brandon Grace, Charles Schwartzel. Tell us about the golf, the disciplines around golf, and I mean the sort of edge that they are always looking for, and how your techniques help them. Yeah, well,
one putt can make a difference. You know, if you can make a guy pick up 2 putts in a round, then he might win a major, etc. So it's very tiny differences that make a huge difference.
So is it more, sorry, Sherylle, in their short game or their long game too?
I do more in the short game, because putting is about 60% of the game, and if anyone's really struggling, it's probably there. I do work in the long game and the rest of the game, and how you prepare and how you perform on the day. So it's a combination of stuff, but I do most of my work in putting.